All right, today we are in OVR Expedition. We're going to be talking about winterizing this unit. So this is an expedition, obviously. Under here, we're under the dinette on the road side of the unit. This is where a lot of your accessories are. Hot water heater, your water pump, furnace is under here as well. So a lot of the bigger items, a lot of the plumbing stuff is down underneath here. This is where you're going to a lot of the valves are also located for the winterization process. First thing you want to do is you want to drain your tanks. We do have a video about draining tanks where all those valves and stuff are. So you want to see that. So you want to drain the whole system of all the water that's in the system first and foremost before you go ahead and start the winterization process. So under here, we've got our winterization hose, which is connected to the water pump. This is going to go into your RV winterization. Maybe you have about a gallon or so of that goes in there. And then you want to go through and set your valves. So you want to, on this unit, we have the 6-gallon hot water heater. You want to make sure the bypass valves are set on those so that you don't get fluid into that hot water heater. You also want to make sure you close the valve to your tank. Make sure none of that fluid gets into the freshwater tank. And then you're going to start running that fluid through the system. You want to make sure it goes all the way through your kitchen sink. It goes through your toilet, your shower, your outside water, any water spigots you've got outside, and we'll go from there. And then so once you have that fluid going through the whole system, essentially you're winterized. And then you can go back through, close the valves up, and then make sure that everything is set to go. All right, so here's kind of a better view of some of these valves. This, like I said, this is your winterization hose. So this is the main valve to that. It goes to the water pump, which is then going to go to the rest of the system. Down here, you've got a low point drain. This is going to drain the system drain the water out of the pump and everything, going out to the bottom. And then two big valves to remember is your bypass valve on the hot water heater. So like I said, this is a 6-gallon hot water heater. There's a bypass loop here that you need to make sure is in line. So these valves, if they're in line with that bypass, that means it's bypassing. If you turn it toward the hot water heater, that's going to mean water is going into the hot water heater and out of it. So make sure that you do check those valves that you don't get that fluid inside of the hot water heater. We'll go outside and look at the drains under the unit as well. Okay, we're back here on the underneath. So here's your exterior of your hot water heater on this unit. Pops open. You've got your valve, your anode here, which you can use. Make sure you empty that out as well. You don't want any water. You've turned those valves, but you don't want any water stuck in here. That could expand when it freezes and crack the casing. And then underneath the unit, we've got a low point drain that we were talking about on the inside. There's one drain here on the unit, and then also 2 drains up front of the unit for your hot water and your other low point drain for your tank as well.